Hey everybody, welcome to the inevitable episode 3 of Bitchin with me, your ex-wife. I actually have 4 guests today. This is a new record. Let's go in order here. So we have Prince Eugen.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. I'm chilling out.
It's been a while.
I know. 4 months and a lifetime later.
Right. Next guest is Daedalus. How are you?
Drawing some fire horns.
Oh my god. Followed by Master Biggie.
Hello.
Nice to see your face. And then lastly, we have our special guest for today, ReclaimerHub's own Mixmaster Chief.
Yo. How's it going?
I made sure to say ReclaimerHub.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
Not radio?
They have PAX Press badges.
Yeah, they're legit now.
They're legitimate. They're a legitimate news
They
organization.
sent out at least one email.
Yeah, pretty much. Speaking of PAX, it kind of gets to why Mix is here. Kind of do a breakdown over a month later of PAX South, which myself, Daedalus, and Mix all went to.
Was awesome.
Pretty awesome. Pretty
Got
awesome.
some cool people.
Yeah, my first gaming convention of any kind, because I live in New Mexico, and that's all you really need to know about that.
It's an excellent location for video game conventions.
New Mexico or San Antonio?
San Antonio
Mexico.
definitely is not.
I don't even know if there's a place in New Mexico that would that would qualify for that. Like that we could actually hold that. Maybe at like the Isleta Amphitheater.
The New Mexico Convention Center, of course.
I don't know if we have one. Like our biggest cities are like small compared to anybody's cities. Yes, Mark, we get it.
No, 2 streams, the visual and the audio. It's cool.
Right. So, I guess we can like go from the beginning on that, do a little quick recap and our impressions. I'll go ahead and start. I had to drive 9.5 hours, or at least that's what Google told me it was going to be. And turns out I drove through a blizzard the entire way, so it was like 10.5 to 11 hours in reality. And got there and met up with Mix the first night. But anyway, we had a nice adventure the first night, getting lost in the downtown area. We couldn't find your truck.
Yeah,
You want to talk about that at all?
Fun. So I drove 20 minutes to get to San Antonio, and where did we park? We parked in a parking garage at the River City Mall, and we went down to the Riverwalk, where I claimed to be familiar with the area and was obviously not. And then we looked in the wrong parking garage for my truck for probably 30 minutes.
That was pretty awesome. Like, it looked identical.
It was absolutely identical.
It even had the same non-functioning elevators.
It did.
Which
Where if you hit the 3rd floor, it would take you to the 4th floor no matter what.
wasn't there one where like it wouldn't go down, it would only go up and then reverse.
Yeah.
And then it wouldn't take you to the right floor to begin with.
What state is this?
What?
What state is this in?
Texas, obviously. Yeah. I shouldn't say obviously. Like everything else to do with the actual convention was done really well. But oh boy. Yeah. So that was the first night. We ended up like going to some random Mexican joint because we couldn't find anywhere else, and we didn't feel like walking around like 70 different random walls that are just on the river for no reason.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But
construction walls that blocked normal standing walls.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So that was the day before, because I got there a day ahead of time. Mike decided unwisely to drive down from, what was it, Dallas?
Dallas.
Right?
Yeah.
The first day.
In the morning, that was dumb. We should have just come down. the
It's
night
like a
before.
4-hour
We didn't
drive.
Get in till really late the night before into Dallas.
But-
Me, my wife, and my son, who all attended PAX.
Yeah. Corbin was like surprisingly the most well-behaved person under 18 there. So,
Surprising. I was also surprised.
so let's talk about
developers with him
right.
strapped to my chest was pretty awesome, though.
Right. Let's go ahead and talk about the actual convention itself. I know, Colin, before you had mentioned, I think it was either the first or second or whatever, PAX East they had in New York. You said the venue was like horrible or something. Was it PAX?
And I haven't been to PAX East.
What was the
I
convention
went
in
to
New
New
York?
York Comic Con.
Or Comic Con, that's right.
Yeah,
You said it was
It
horrible.
wasn't terrible. It just wasn't San Diego Comic Con.
Just not the same, huh?
It's not the same.
Oh, I thought I remembered you talking like there was like a lack of space or everything was too small or something.
No, that was New York Comic Con.
Yeah. So that was actually not a problem here. Surprisingly, everything's bigger in Texas. I was surprised at just how freaking huge the convention center was, and how much PAX actually took up. I don't know if you guys had the same impression.
Dallas Convention Center it's a really nice convention center. It's really big. Probably the weirdest thing was how big the convention center was, like how big the area that PAX took up. And then on the final day, I know I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but on the final day there was another convention going on in the
Yeah,
same
the jewelry
center.
convention. On the
Yeah.
other side.
Clothing. It was a fashion
Clothing?
convention, yeah.
Oh, nice.
But it just kind of goes to show how big the center was and how we weren't even taking up the full amount of space, which is crazy because it felt huge. I guess it wasn't as big as the convention center was.
Yeah, there were was it 3 full floors of like
Yeah, 3
non
floors.
non-stop nerds and
Fat people
Cool.
sweat.
just-
Do they have the beanbag section where?
They
Yes.
did, yeah.
Yeah.
They did.
they had the what did they call it? The one
Yeah.
room,
Oh,
I don't
God,
remember.
what was
the
it?
diversity room.
Oh, the diversity lounge.
The diversity lounge, yes. So I understand like trying to make everybody feel comfy and stuff, but like when you force it down people's throats, it just seems kind of
Diversity
tacky, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
A little tacky.
I don't know if you guys felt the same about that.
It was like an LGBTQ area that you could go to if you felt unsafe.
We're not even kidding. That's
Unsafe.
essentially
And it
what
was the same as the beanbag area?
It
Or-
had
right
beanbags and
right
all
next
kinds of
to it.
shit in there too. Yeah.
The
Oh,
beanbag
okay.
area is like the one thing you stay away from at PAX.
Well, and then they had
That's
things
Last
where you
day, it smelled
Because they
good.
reuse the beanbags every year.
Yeah.
they had a thing where you could like check out beanbags and large pillows and stuff and just go sleep somewhere in the convention if you needed to.
It's just like legions of PAX goers stacked on top of each other. It's
It's where
Seriously, it's so
So
weird.
there's layers of beanbags.
yeah,
Layers of-
there's a layer of beanbag, and then there are layers of people.
Followed by more people. Like there was
Yeah.
so many people.
I would say that there were not really any very intimidating people there. So I don't know.
No,
why
there
you would
wasn't-
be getting intimidated.
The outfits were surprisingly good because it was mostly like Gearbox was like the big
Yeah.
Yeah.
presenter there, so it was a lot of like Borderlands cosplay.
Borderlands stuff.
Yeah, all the Borderlands
Yeah.
stuff was amazing. That was the first time I'd seen any actual Borderlands cosplay stuff, and it was really, really good.
Yeah.
And we got
There-
to meet Randy Pitchford and take a picture with him. That was pretty cool.
Is he wearing
Yeah.
a sweet blazer?
He was wearing so many different
He was
sweet
wearing- he was-
blazers
he had
every time.
changed into something else that was equally amazing
Yeah.
from earlier in the day when we had seen him to when we took our picture with him.
Yeah, so like again, this is skipping ahead. So the last day of the convention is when we actually met him, and early in the morning we went to the main theater, which was freaking huge, and they were doing a presentation on upcoming games that weren't like secrets per se, but like giving you the deets and giving you details on what specific things would be coming. So they talked about the new Tales from the Borderlands episode, and they showed some footage and a trailer for that, and told you, what characters are going to be in it. Everybody freaked out because Scooter. But the big highlight of the show is Randy in this like sparkling purple blazer doing magic tricks
It was so awesome.
for like half the presentation. And like the magic trick was tied into like giving away swag, of course, to
That was
lucky
ruined.
people.
He ruined it in this magic trick.
How's that?
He like tore the page out of the book.
Oh, well, yeah, but it's like, now it's worth even more. Like, Randy Pitchford actually ripped this page up, and then he put it in, like, encased in glass.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, like, the page is, it's like engraved glass, and the guy gets to take everything. But, so that was an interesting, unexpected experience, of course. But,
What's the population like? Like, how many? Is it crowded or
San Antonio?
San Antonio or the convention?
the convention?
It
was pretty
There were a
jam
lot of
packed.
people there.
Yeah.
The convention, like the main hall, was big enough that it never felt too terribly crowded. But when it
But
got
it felt
to
pretty
be
crowded on
when it-
like Saturday morning. It felt pretty
Yeah.
damn crowded.
yeah, the main like Saturday and then some of Sunday felt a little crowded. I guess those are the more popular days to go anyway. But if you got up to like the third floor, which was much smaller, it started to feel a little bit more crowded. And then when waiting in line for panels, which normally gets crowded, but it was just those hallways were smaller.
I didn't
Yeah.
get to try out the Oculus Rift. I was sad.
Yeah, it was
The line
well,
for
it was like
enormous.
it was like a 45-minute to an hour wait to try the Oculus for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And you're like, nah, I got better things to do. Like, I think we'd all agree our standout game from the show floor was just Shapes and Beats.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing.
Oh my god, that was amazing. What about
So
that Sonic clone.
that was surprisingly
Freedom
good.
Planet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Freedom Planet. It was like a homage to like Sonic plus Mega Man plus any random retro game you can think of.
And my company might be doing some stuff for their translation to Japanese or something.
Oh, did the guy get back to you?
Japan.
Or
Yeah, he did.
oh, cool,
Most of those guys did actually.
nice. So you served your purpose.
I did. I served my purpose.
That's the only reason you're there.
Well, I mean, I told him I wanted to go, and he's like, "Hey, just hand this stuff out while you're there." I was like, "Okay, if you're gonna pay for me to go, I certainly do that."
Yeah. Yeah. For Mark and Colin's benefit, Just Shapes and Beats is an indie title, oddly enough. It's from, I forget the name of the company.
It was
they're out of Canada,
French.
right? French
Yeah.
Canadian. But basically, there's shapes on screen that you have to move your little ship around and not hit. And that's the whole premise, pretty much. And everything moves to like custom music soundtracks and stuff. And their demo version they had on the floor already had Easter eggs and hidden levels.
Cool.
So like there was a hidden what was it, Liu Kang level?
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat themed stage, yeah. And so like some of the shapes were like bicycle kicking across the screen at like really fast pace, and everybody's like trying to avoid it. It's pretty amazing. It's you have to kind of look up the gameplay video if you want to get a gist of what it's really, really good looking, I guess is the way to put it. Like the presentation is really slick.
Is it coming out this year?
I believe so. They
I
they
think they said that they wanted it to be out by like October, and it would be on Wii U, PS4, Steam, and PC.
for minimum. Yeah. Yeah. They do a Twitch stream. I think it's once a week, and they design a level for their game once a week live on Twitch.
Well, that's
So
cool.
that's kind of neat. Yeah. They were really nice, and we came back like a few times to play it, and they were like, "Oh, hey guys, welcome back. You want to play again? Okay, here you go."
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we want to keep playing. Yes.
We became Shapes and Beats pros by the end of the convention. They were
And
paying us to come play the game for people.
yeah, and this game is let's be clear here, really fucking hard.
Oh my god, it is so difficult.
So by pro we mean we only died once every few seconds instead of every beat. So
Yeah.
Trying to think. There were a few other pretty cool ones, like Video Ball, which we played with Tycho.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that was really.
That's
fun.
pretty cool. He like pops up out of nowhere. Who are we
Hey, you
talking
guys want
to?
to play this? Yes.
We were talking to Jeff
Hey.
Gershman, weren't we?
Yes, we were
Yeah.
talking to Jeff Gershman and
Yeah,
Dave Lang.
Yeah, so we were talking to them, and then like Tycho shows up. He's like, "Hey, you guys played this fucking game?" Just like that, and we're like, "No." He's like, "Hey, let's play a few rounds." Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And that was the entire conversation. He's like, "Yeah, this game's fucking awesome," and he's like, "Come here, let's go play this other game." And we're like, "Oh, okay." It was pretty crazy, but yeah. So we got like pictures with him and hung out with him for a little while. That was also on the last day. Like everybody just came out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
First day was pretty good. Me and Mix got there a few hours before Mike showed up with his family because they were still driving, and we went into the Geometry Wars 3 tournament, which I oddly enough won. But
So odd.
Weird.
Because
that-
Matt is so good at Geometry Wars.
He's only one of the top players in the world. So
Yeah.
why would he win
Yeah.
some local tournament? I don't know.
there were surprisingly a fair amount of good people there too. Like by the later rounds, like I'd say quarterfinals and later.
Including myself.
It's like when I ran into Fatality at the Quake tournament here. That was pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Like, wow, why is this dick here? I'm trying to win this thing.
Yeah, Austin had never played any Geometry Wars of any kind, and he's like, "I'll enter." So we both entered, and he actually made it further than some people that actually play the game, which was kind of funny.
I got cheated because of the size of the bracket. I got put into the second round automatically.
Yeah, you got to buy. Lucky.
Yeah.
And well, there were some people that lost in the first round that were I'm going to say were worse than you. So
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty proud of myself.
it was pretty cool. They had the whole section up there was for tournaments. They had a whole side of that expo hall area set aside, and then the other entire half was free play. So you just like go to this counter and say, "Hey, I want to play insert name of game here," and they'll like, "Okay, here you go." And you can check it out and play it for like 45 minutes or whatever.
Which we did with Halo 2. And we played
Yeah, it was a lot
3-player
of fun.
FFA, which was pre-patch Halo 2. So it was
Oh yeah,
pretty obnoxious.
pre-patch Halo 2, split
So dual
screen,
magnums all the way.
three players.
Three-player split screen.
Yeah, pretty amazing.
So one player gets the advantage. Okay.
That was Matt at it.
Was it? No, I think I was the bottom left corner, wasn't I?
No, I was the bottom left corner.
I don't remember.
Pretty sure
that.
you were on top.
I'm pretty sure Matt was on top.
Oh,
Matt's
Oh,
always on
yeah.
top.
You don't remember. You have the good screen.
yeah, it was. Yeah, it was pre-patch though, so it was like just a big clusterfuck. So,
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
but we were trying to play Smash, but like all the copies were taken and all the Game Cubes were
And then
taken.
we finally got one, and the
There's one
GameCube
controller.
that we went to was supposed to have 4 controllers and had 1. And I went back and I told them, they're like, "Oh, really? There's only one controller back there?" It's
Oh,
like, yeah.
they must have
Oh,
stolen
there's
them.
supposed to be 4. Well, somebody must have taken them. It's like, oh, yeah, that must have happened.
Yeah, they had to try hard to do that though, because those
Yeah, they
cables
like
were
all
put in there
zip-tied
pretty
together and
well.
stuff.
Yeah. There were a couple other standout games, like we said. Video Ball was really fun. It's kind of like a less memeful version of IDARB, I guess you could say.
Well,
Yeah, Video Ball was very similar to IDARB in the way it played and everything like that. It was.
It's a very different game
it
though.
was-
Still, it's
yeah.
more like soccer than it was.
Yeah,
whatever IDARB is.
top down
closer to
instead
soccer,
of
yeah.
Yeah,
a side scroller kind of thing.
so you can like build barriers in front of your goals and things.
Oh man, that game was so much fun.
It's really hard too.
It was very challenging. It was very momentum based.
And then and then I won a T-shirt for being one of the only people to complete even one stage on was Arrow's Quest.
Yes,
That
that was pretty tough.
Swedish company. I forget their name too right now. The game is called Arrow's Quest. It's coming to Steam for sure. But it was kind of like a slower paced Super Meat Boy style thing, and it was absurdly hard. And
Yeah.
he's like, if you
Yes.
can beat this stage, you guys get a T-shirt. And everybody's like, okay. And it's like people trying for like 20 minutes. They can't get past like the first obstacle. But that was pretty cool too. There's a lot of cool indie games there. There weren't very many like
Big games.
retail, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, like AAA presence.
Yeah,
Like Microsoft basically wasn't there at all,
they were not.
Huh.
which was interesting.
Well, I guess they had
It was
other
pretty
stuff.
much. It was pretty much a giant indie convention floor.
Yeah,
It's mostly what it was. And then there was that company with the gray goo was there, which is a new RTS. That's
Yeah.
kind of like
That was kinda
StarCraft-y.
neat. Twitch had like a quarter of the expo floor to themselves.
Yeah, they did. Good lord.
They were doing like how was it? It was
They were like live streaming on stage, just a bunch of different games.
yeah, they're doing like Dropkick or whatever it was. And
Dive kick.
dive kick, not Dropkick.
Yeah.
Well, we had a really good time. We should probably move on though, because it looks like our other two.
Huh? Oh no, I'm
Colin's
just.
falling
People are
Colin's always
a little disinterested.
disinterested.
No, I'm totally not doing homework right now. That's cool.
But yeah,
Had
it
a
was
great
it was
time.
it was pretty
It was a
great.
lot of
Yeah, it was a good deal.
I hope
I
they
was-
keep doing it. I would definitely try to go back next year if they do.
Yeah, I think it was pretty positive. Hopefully it's in Austin next year, not fucking San Antonio.
I'd be fine with Austin as well. It's a little bit closer to Dallas, so I would definitely be okay with that.
I wish they could find somewhere that just wasn't at that same location, even though the venue itself is fine. Like everything around it was horrible.
Yeah,
Downtown San
was.
Antonio is horrible.
Yeah,
yeah. Parking was pretty expensive and annoying. Their food is good though, Matt. Remember?
well, that wasn't even near the convention center.
Well, I know, but I'm just
It was
saying.
near my hotel.
In general.
Okay, so next on the bracket, let's see. So since we had our last episode, Master Chief Collection hadn't even released yet. This is how behind we are and how hard it is for our schedules to even mesh up recently. So let's kind of discuss that a slight bit here. You okay, Mark?
Oh yeah, sorry, my camera seemed
Uh-huh.
like it sunk.
It was fine. But yeah, so Master Chief Collection hadn't released, and I believe our last episode we were like, oh, this is going to be great. And we were listing off like all the latest updates from 343 on how it's going to be awesome. And oh, hey, the reveal was pretty cool. And so guys, how about that game?
It's kind of broken. A little bit broken.
I went back and re-listened to one of the earlier episodes of Reclaimer Radio, and it just made me so sad how excited we were about it, and then just how hard it was to even try to play the game when it came out. It was pretty bad.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah. I don't want to think about our first bitching about MCC. That's just.
We weren't
Yeah.
bitching. That was our positive episode.
Yeah, things are looking good, guys. And then now, oh.
And
Okay.
it was just unfortunate that it was so buggy. Hopefully, we'll get some sort of post-mortem out of Frankie or something that doesn't name any names because they're never going to name any names. But maybe we'll know like what the underlying cause for all of the horrible issues that it was having.
One of the
Maybe
names is
sort of
Dan.
is.
Yeah.
We'll talk about
I
him
really
in a
needed
bit.
to crack that
Yeah.
whip a little harder on all the different studios that were working on this thing.
Well, now it's like at a release date almost. Like kind of a standard, like, oh, it's a little buggy, but it's release day. Like when we played last night, which is kind of sad.
I don't know about you.
4 months later.
I don't know about you guys, but I haven't had to actually quit the build per se in I don't know, ever since that last update.
I only had to do that a few times when it like resumes and it's still like when I turn it off and then come back later and then turn it on and it's still like in the game. It seems like my token online has expired or something, so I have to like restart the game. So
I don't have to manually quit anymore, but sometimes the game quits itself for me. It just crashes.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah.
I haven't had that happen.
I've had it not load maps, but I
Yeah,
think
I've had
that's
the
about
not
it.
load happen
Yeah,
a few times, but mostly on Halo 3.
Yeah, the patch came out a little over a week ago, and I only started having that problem last night for the first time in over a week. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's kind of random at this point when that happens. I haven't noticed any like particular pattern or specific
Yeah.
map.
Yeah,
or-
games or
Halo 3, it seems to not load for me more often than not.
Yeah, totally.
So that's a good thing for you, right, Mike?
It is. I am thrilled
just
when I do not have to play Halo 3.
you love Halo 4 so much.
I do. I love it so much.
oh my god.
No, I still say we blame Tashi. It's usually
Yeah.
usually a good place to put our blame.
Oh, yeah.
It's like he's here with us.
Yeah. Oh man. Should have invited him. He could have been a special guest too.
I think he's on Skype right now. I could probably.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
You want to come into our podcast?
I doubt he would want to join in.
Yeah.
We totally
He would-
did that when HCS was announced. We added Tashi to the conversation, and he basically, like, in the text, he was like, "What do y'all think of the HCS announcement?" We were like, "It's pretty cool." He was like, "Okay, cool, thanks," and he left.
Nice.
Yeah, I think at this point you'd probably have to run it by somebody. Hey, can I be on this like little shitty podcast?
Yeah.
Probably.
Sure, it would be.
I don't know, but yeah. So it's I put in our show notes. It's working now. So has anyone else been playing a lot more?
Yeah.
Like
I play it several
there's always
hours
people on.
every
Anybody
night.
else have that same experience? I know the first night after the update, me and Colin were talking about how we hadn't seen that many people on at once since like Halo Reach came out, I think.
Well, they could have been online, but they just weren't showing up on the roster.
Yeah, that's true.
Hey, quit trying to ruin our optimism.
Not all basic functions work properly yet.
Yeah.
I've been playing more. I do it when I'm trying to get Corbin to sleep sometimes. I'm not really trying then because I'm like laying in the bed and really far away from the TV. I can barely see the radar, so it's even worse than when I'm playing on the big screen and then I just barely pay attention to the radar. I can't even see it on the other TV.
I don't even know why you would have that problem. The radar is like the most visible thing ever. Apparently not according to those people last night, though. That was kind of hilarious.
Who
Oh
was playing
yeah.
with last night?
Huh?
Who was playing last night?
I don't know. Some scrub lords. That's all I know. I took a clip of it. I got a kill tack with all assassinations.
God, that was awesome.
And there was radar.
Teammates.
Oh no, Mike is Mike's always there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm always there, scrub lording it up.
I would look at my radar, but Corbin like puked all over the screen already.
The edge of the screen is just so far. I can't.
I have trouble figuring out where people are, even though it tells me elevation.
Yeah. Triangle, circles. This shit's confusing. I don't.
But
That was reached.
I can see the Halo 4 one fine. I realize the Halo 2 one I'm really bad at seeing it well, I guess. I don't know why.
it's because it's purposely not
Yeah, it's
super
really different.
easy to figure shit out. Like
Yeah.
it's purposely blurred, I guess is the way to put it.
Mhm.
And it's actually part of, if I remember correctly, part of that is because it's easier to see that on a CRT.
Yeah, the dots are
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah, it's fine on a CRT, but yeah, once you get to the HD gen, it's like, oh, this is not very detailed or easy to use in comparison to everything else. But I mean, the radar gets progressively more descriptive as you go through the series anyway. So
It does. I think they should just keep it at like Halo 3 level. I wish they would do that for the future and not show elevation at least.
Oh my
That's a
god,
little
you
bit
like
too much
something with
information.
Halo 3?
uh-oh.
I mean, I could say it's from Halo 2 as well because it doesn't show elevation either, does it?
Yeah. I mean, Reach showed elevation too, didn't it? Like, it was just
Mhm.
the shade.
Yeah, it
Well,
was.
Which I
that
was-
triangles above,
And then it was like
shade
not as
below.
bright
Or yeah, that's, yeah.
below, yeah.
Yeah, which some people never figured out. They're like, what? You didn't see if they're below you?
Oh my god.
Now it's just you get arrows. It's like, oh well, obviously I know they're below me now.
So, good thing they got this game sort of in a working state at this point. So now we'll have something to tide us over until the Guardians full game comes out later this year already. So, also, since our last show, there was this thing called the Halo 5 Guardians beta. What do y'all think about
You gotta
that?
say the full name, the Halo 5 Guardians Arena.
Arena multiplayer beta.
Arena
Yeah,
multiplayer beta.
let's qualify this.
Oh,
There was no
yeah.
big team.
I loved it when I was playing it.
I did
Yeah.
too. It's a ton of fun. I absolutely loved it.
I didn't play it enough. Just gonna get that out of the way right now
Can you explain why?
because I thought
Please
I needed to
elaborate.
play more World of Warcraft.
Uh huh.
I did not.
And
Colin nodding was.
And I have a son who's very young, and he kind of takes up time as
And
well.
he had to play World of Warcraft too, or
He did. He was playing with me.
you could level him up. That's cool.
Mhm.
That's fun.
What level is Corbin now?
He is almost level 50. We'll go with that. Seems reasonable.
Well, if he can talk now, he can surely play World of Warcraft, because most of those people don't know basic English skills anyway.
I know, they don't.
I mean, but I guess that goes for Halo as well. So.
Sometimes.
Yeah, so beta was pretty good. At the time, the matchmaking system was about on par with Master Chief Collection, though. So hopefully
it was definitely faster than Master Chief Collection.
Oh, much faster. I never had.
When it worked, when it matched you quick. But like, you had to put the build a lot.
When you'd get stuck and you couldn't back out.
Yeah, that was kind of an interesting.
Multiplayer.
Yeah, interesting oversight with the not able to back out at any point. I
thought it played really well though. I really liked.
And they were actually they're actually very open about what they plan to make changes to in the future for it, at least. And I was kind of surprised at like just how open they were, like, and ready to go.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, this is like a good sign for the future. But so Josh Holmes from 343 put out a big post after the beta was done, talking about the feedback that we and others gave and like what they're going to change. I figure we can go ahead and talk about that just a little bit, since we're.
He is the executive producer now instead of the creative director. If you didn't notice that.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Tim Longo, who produced a couple of the Star Wars games, is the creative director now.
Ah.
Gotcha.
Shout out to the Star Wars games. They're great. And Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider's good too.
Tomb Raider's pretty good, I guess.
It's just like Halo.
Just like it.
Just like that. Well, speaking of Star Wars, Colin, did you see they're already giving out details on the first spin-off franchise?
Oh yeah.
They're going total Avengers style on this. I can already tell.
I'm okay with that.
Was there a TV show?
Yeah, totally. No, the Rogue One.
No, they're making entire spin-off movies, kind of like I was saying, like for Avengers, everybody gets their own movie kind of thing.
Does R2-D2 get a movie?
He does.
With Jar Jar?
R2 is Star Wars, so.
Actually, the new, if you haven't heard, Mark, the new Star Wars is Star Wars Gunkins.
Gungans.
It's the childhood prequel to Episode 1, focusing on Jar Jar.
So stoked.
Yeah.
I'm almost done watching Clone Wars, as an aside. I've been watching that for a while I work on stuff.
How is that? I haven't even watched any.
It's surprisingly good. The characterization is better than all of the prequels.
Is it on Beast Wars level of good?
I don't remember Beast Wars well enough to.
You should probably watch that again, because that's pretty amazing.
But it is on Netflix, so it's pretty easy to go through all of it. And I've been pretty happy. I mean, it's still it still has some filler episodes in there, but sometimes you get to follow the bad guys, and that's pretty fun because they're bad and they murder a lot of people in that show.
The bad guys are bad. Mike's review of Clone Wars.
Like Anakin.
Wasn't there?
He's supposed to be a good guy, but obviously he's not. But
wasn't there one of those series
just
of
has a
games
different point of view. That's all.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What? No, I think it's great. I really.
No. He just slaughtered them like animals.
He's not scared to straight up murk somebody that's like his enemy or something. It's pretty good. They kill a lot of people in that show. I was kind of surprised at how much
good children's entertainment.
How much murder happens in this children's show? Yes.
Is that show still considered canon?
Yes,
that's
Clone
a good
Wars
question.
isn't it?
At the prequels?
I believe so, because I don't know how spoilery we can get about Star Wars. Does it matter on our Halo podcast or on our Bitchin podcast?
I don't give a shit.
Not.
Ahsoka showed up in the season finale of What's the new one called?
Rebels.
Oh, the Rebels.
Rebels. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
it's
I didn't know
supposed
that
to
because
be.
I haven't watched that yet. That's kind of cool. I thought she was dead.
Thanks, Mix.
Yeah. You're all
Yeah.
welcome.
That's not too spoilery, I guess. She just shows up. That's kind of cool.
Anyway,
Yeah, I just finished season
Yeah.
5 like earlier today, and I was pretty surprised. It was really good.
speaking of 5, how about that Halo 5 Guardians beta feedback?
Guardians beta.
Yeah, let's talk about the.
Let's just
what
talk
the
about
changes
Star Wars
they're
Episode
making.
5.
Yeah.
Episode 5. That's
Will it be
it.
better than Halo 5 Guardians beta? We shall see.
I don't know. I hear Agent Locke doesn't like Carbonite too much.
Oh my god. Yeah, Agent Locke is Boba Fett.
Seriously.
Halo 5. In a nutshell.
The Darth Dak.
Basically.
Darth
Oh man.
Are we going to go through the change log?
Yeah, sure. Let's go through a few of them. A lot of these actually were part of our feedback that we gave. Like, this needs to get changed. This is bullshit, etc., etc. Something that all the CE purists were pretty hyped about is that increased base movement speed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That alone, I think, is going to be like a massive change if they do it right.
I mean,
Oh,
they
yeah.
already did that in Halo 4, right? I mean, that was what the turbo update did. It made everything faster, so now they have to go back and do it to this one as well.
Weird.
But
We
they're
thought it was
making
fast
sprint
enough,
slower,
but everybody
too.
wants to be faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're changing the sprint acceleration as well.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Strafe? Well, they're changing
Well, they're
sprint.
increasing the strafe acceleration as well. It's faster and more responsive strafing.
That's
So is it movement or strafe that's getting...
Both.
Both.
They're
Both.
They're both getting increased.
Yeah, so you move faster
in
and
any
then
direction.
you
And you
strafe
strafe
faster, but you sprint slower?
Slightly slower, yeah.
The difference between your base movement and your sprint movement is less, is what it is.
Yeah, which is
God.
interesting.
Which
Yeah.
which again leads to like something
Yeah.
I had for feedback, which was why sprint.
Yeah, okay.
That was
Even
my
more
feedback.
cosmetic.
Like,
It's
Yeah.
there because everybody expects it to be there.
yeah, it's
But hey, in
Basically.
custom games, you can turn it off. So
yeah,
But
it's.
I mean, if nobody's using it anyway, then it's just like
I know.
your trade-off to try to get to a power weapon faster. That's pretty much what it's there for now.
Yeah, even in the beta, I found myself only
You're
sprinting
not going to
usually in the
sprint when
beginning.
you're in combat anymore, especially if you're weak. You know, you can't
Mhm.
because you're not going to get your shields back, and you're just going to be screwed.
Yeah, pretty much. So they changed the controls for ground pounding, which is great.
Because now you can crouch jump again.
Yeah. Man.
Because I tried to crouch jump all the time in the Halo 5 beta, and I would always get the little
Yeah, it's.
reticule underneath me when I was about to land. It's like, oh yeah, I'm trying to ground
Oh
pound.
crap! Yeah, and it like stops you in the midair, so you miss your jump anyway. And you're like, oh shit. But yeah, it's one of those things that's like so ingrained in my head now. Like, even if
I
I'm not
always
playing
do it.
Halo, I'm crouch jumping.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's so ingrained at this point. I think they kind of realized that that's too big of a thing to take out. I'll be curious to see if they change any like the map design to accommodate the ability to crouch jump now.
Mm.
Since you can already clamber.
Yeah, I mean, crouch jumping could
I don't
work
think
with
that they're gonna
clamber.
change. I don't think that they're going to change very much. There's a lot of spots in the map that were built around the clamber ability, like
Like
one of the
everything?
One of the ways to get pretty much. One of the ways to
Entire.
get up from bottom to top, red or blue on truth, was to clamber. So,
Yeah. I use that spot
Mhm.
quite a lot.
I think it was, what was it? Me and Colin figured out that you could do that hover jump.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, where you scope in, you hover.
Yeah, you hover and
Yeah,
then
the
you
front of the
clamber.
base.
Yeah.
No,
They
not-
changed the button for that
not-
too. That
not
was
the
like really weird
stabilizers.
one. For
Or
bumper
stabilizer,
bumper.
yeah.
Not
Yeah.
those though. It's where you go into the animation for the ground pound, and the animation actually picks you up like another foot or two, so you can get the clamber if the ledge is a
Nice.
little bit too high.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting. Like, it still lets you do the animation, even though when you're at that particular spot, you can't ground pound just by jumping anyway. So it's kind of an interesting little, I wouldn't say glitch, but like side effect of the system they have in place.
That's kind of neat.
It's like you can't ground pound, but it'll still do the animation, which in effect boosts you higher. It's almost like a crouch jump type situation. But this is actual height.
They give you a little boost when you hit the crouch now. Going forward, maybe. Push crouch to. They'll give you a little jolt.
To double jump, crouch to double jump.
Get a little double jump. Yeah.
How intuitive would that be?
No, that wouldn't be. Well.
Yeah. So in the same post, they kind of talk about they're going to do some weapon tuning as well. And of course, bringing back D-scope is huge. Everybody, I'm pretty sure, is unanimous in Halo 4. That was just a terrible idea, getting rid of that. But they also they're going to change a few things specifically from the beta. The sniper rifle, which was my, oddly enough, least favorite weapon in the beta, I'd say. Other than maybe the Prophet's Bane, because that was just annoying to use.
It's a sword, so I love it. That was pretty bright.
That wasn't the
obnoxious
problem.
Yeah, I know.
It was useless after a certain, like, how do I put this, skill gap?
Yeah.
I'm sure certain people appreciate that. But, yeah, like, after a certain point, especially on what was it, Truth, like, you couldn't, there was no point to go for it. You'd be dead before you reached any of your targets anyway.
Yeah.
You never got melee kills. So, I don't know. That seemed... not to mention the fact that you were blinded the entire time you had it out. Which...
it was balanced that way.
Yeah, it's balance. The skill gap.
Yeah, it's balanced for, like, Bronze 1, I think. But...
Hey, I don't get why Bronze 1 isn't closer to Gold 3.
But yeah, I mean, Bronze 1's is pretty much semi-pro already, so...
Are there any silver tiers in here?
I was Onyx, somehow.
I think, Austin, you were Gold, right? Or Onyx?
Yeah, I was Gold 3.
Oh, okay.
But why weren't you Onyx 1? Those are basically the same thing, right? Why is it a separate rank? That's it irritates me.
I got the Onyx 1, like, right near the end of the beta, when I had started trying to play it again.
Yeah. I don't know, Biggie, do you have Juices on your Skype? We could get him in here and we could have a balanced discussion.
Oh, God, no.
Unfortunately.
Get the silver tier in here. It'll be
is he really
more
silver?
Balanced.
That's
yeah,
really sad.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, game sucks. I'm not going to play anymore.
Oh, wow. Sounds like Juices.
So the sniper rifle, they say they're going to, quote, improve scope experience to make it less clunky and faster.
If they just speed up the animations, it would probably be fine. Less frames.
Yeah, I wonder how much easier that's... Or if that's going to make it too easy to use, because it seemed like the hitbox was pretty fuzzy sometimes.
I didn't mind,
probably knock that down a little bit, though.
I didn't mind the scope animation. It was that there was a slight delay between zooming and it actually doing it.
Yeah. I think that's what they're talking about.
Yeah, and there wasn't that with any of the other weapons that I could actually notice.
I really like the BR. That new BR that thing felt amazing.
Yeah, I'm still not a fan of ADS, despite what they say. Oh, it's not a big difference. There's no problem. I'd like to be able to see my surroundings more. Period.
I didn't have any problem with the BR, but the pistol I couldn't. It's not.
Yeah, the pistol didn't really make sense.
Blocked.
It was easier to hit shots when you weren't zoomed on that.
Yeah,
which was weird. Like even if the people weren't like fighting back or anything, like you were better off just not scoping your pistol.
Maybe I should have just done that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the Destiny pistol, the pistols in that actually feel really good. So I wish it was more like that. I kind of wish you just started with a BR and an assault rifle, and there was a pickup for a Magnum on the map. That was awesome. That was like a 3-shot kill or something. That would be great.
I do like how, I don't know if this is exactly what they're going for, but it felt to me like any of the weapons that they carried over, they tried to, with the exception of the sniper, for whatever reason, they tried to make it more fun to use and more unique, if that makes sense. So like they brought both the DMR, or excuse me, the BR, the DMR, and the light rifle
is nuts
from Halo 4.
It's awesome,
dude.
But
oh my god, I love that.
Yeah. So they took the light rifle concept of if you zoom in, it kills faster, and they took it, in my opinion, like even more to the extreme. Like it kills in 3 shots if you're zoomed in.
Yeah.
But it's harder to use than before. So I thought that was kind of cool. Like make its role in the sandbox like more defined.
Like, instead of all those rifles just basically being almost exactly the same, they're trying to carve out the niche even more for each of them. Yeah.
So like before, it's like light rifle or DMR, basically indistinguishable for the most part, except for maybe long distance if they weren't looking. And now it's like light rifle can destroy other rifles, but it's a lot harder to use by comparison.
Yeah.
So, DMR is really fun to use unscoped, which was odd because it's a marksman's rifle. But
had that big, I'm sure they put that big scope on the DMR to try to balance its long range effectiveness. Like they want you to use that scope only pretty much when you're in long range from somebody else. But they're changing that anyway. Adjust position of the scope to improve visibility. So I'm not really sure what they're going to do with the DMR.
Hopefully they're referring to the fact that like if you were near a light source at all,
the glare
would just like fly in your face and you couldn't even see your scope anyway.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
there's some weird lighting effects.
That was a problem on Truth for sure. So like you'd zoom in with the DMR and the scope is such that you can see the outside of the scope that's supposed to be facing your eye, and that would reflect any of the lights in the building like back into your face. So bringing back the Spanker rocket launcher is a legendary version of the weapon. Okay.
Yeah. Kind of a no-brainer, but
that makes me wonder if it wasn't in, or they just were responding to
the legendary
worry
weapons
about it not being in.
The legendaries just have like different, like
so like the Prophet's Bane is the
different.
Legendary of the sword.
Yeah,
so they're more better.
It makes you run
They're
faster.
much more better.
The Prophet's Bane makes you run a little bit faster.
Makes you run faster, has a longer range, I think.
Yeah.
It blinds you.
Can I just say that new rocket launcher? I really don't like it. I don't care how it looks, like, but I just don't like using it.
The rocket launcher or the Hydra?
Like
the rocket launcher.
Okay, yeah, that I agree. It's weird. Like if you scope, it doesn't work right.
It's like 20 seconds. No, not literally, but it feels like it takes forever for you to actually pick it up and then be able to use it.
Yeah, and if you scope in, it seems less accurate. I don't even know how to describe it. Like the rockets have like might be an issue with the beta, but like the rockets would have an issue where they wouldn't fire at the right rate or at the same time each time you pull the trigger. I don't know if that makes sense, if that's a connection issue or not. But
get better internet, scrub.
Oh yeah. It wasn't just me, damn it.
So laggy.
But I don't know. Like it killed well enough, and it made sense when like you were killed by it. Like the blast radius made sense, but it sounded wrong and felt wrong.
A lot of the weapons, like they felt great when shooting, but in terms of animations, reloading, equipping, it honestly really felt like a Battlefield game. Like every weapon was like the more powerful it was, the more heavy and the more clunky it was to use. And I just don't like that in Halo. I don't like that Battlefield tier of weapon going on.
Oh, where it has to be so totally different for every.
Yeah,
class.
just in the way it feels. Like rockets are, since they're a power weapon, they got to be heavy and slow to use and clunky. And it's just like, that's great for Battlefield, but
yeah, I can understand like a longer reload. That's fine.
Mjolnir armor, that shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, that kind of leads to like one of my biggest criticisms of the game, which I still hadn't gotten used to at the end of the beta, was all the frickin' audio. Just period. Like for the most part, was annoying. Every little thing that happened in the game world had to have like some loud announced sound to let you know that it happened. It's like any little step anyone has, like you can hear it across the map. You can hear like all the like bullet shell casings everywhere. Clamber is like 25 different sounds involved. I mean, it was a lot of audio overload.
Yeah.
Especially with the Spartan chatter.
Oh my god. Yeah, which luckily they said they reduced, which is good.
Yeah, they're changing
let
that.
you toggle it off too.
Yeah, that'll be nice.
But I mean, a lot of it felt like they were trying to make everything feel like Colin was saying, nice and big, and like you're a Spartan, you're supposed to be super fucking loud as you walk around because you're an idiot, you know. But
yeah,
I thought it sounded pretty cool.
even crouching was loud as hell, you know.
I like the most of the sound effects, but it was just the amount that was happening at once.
Mm-hmm.
Well, even Steitzer, they like put him through that tin can / timpani.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They couldn't make up their mind. Like, we wanted him to sound more mechanical, but then at the same time, he's supposed to have like a bass sound too, and it's like,
Oh, and what was it that some of the sound effects were just drastically different depending on what you were doing? Or am I thinking of MCC? Where Steitzer's voice the modulation.
Oh, that's MCC.
Because they use different audio files from different games.
Yeah, Halo 2 Anniversary has recordings of him from like, I think it was 4 different games.
Oh,
so weird.
It's like,
yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
That's how much of a clusterfuck it really was. Like they're shoving this thing out the door, kicking and screaming.
They were pilfering waves from.
They're like, guys, we don't have time or money to hire him to record more stuff. Like, he can only record for like an hour, period, and that's all we got. Let's go.
One takes everything.
Just get the files from the other games. That'll work.
I really like that new grenade sound, like when it hits the wall or hits the ground. It's like that really heavy, like marble sound.
Mm-hmm.
In
that
5.
was really good. In Halo 5.
Yeah, it's really good.
The only thing that, for the most part, I liked the audio except for how cluttered it was, but the only thing in that game that I was like, what the hell, was the grenade distortion. Like, the intentional distortion of that sound, and it's just the worst. It's the worst thing in the world. Why would you want distortion at all?
Wait, what are we talking about now?
When a grenade goes off right next to you, like, they do this intentional distortion, and it's so loud. And
they started that in like Reach and carried it on even more in 4, didn't they?
Reach doesn't have distortion; it goes to white noise, which is okay.
Right. 4 has a little distortion, doesn't it?
Yeah, and 5 it's like every time I'm like, oh my god, my headphones are gonna blow out, or they did blow out.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. The audio seemed over designed, I think is the right way to put it.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on.
There's good stuff in there.
Subtlety.
There's good stuff in there, and then it's just like, make sure you hear this. Oh, okay, thanks.
Yeah.
I think all the primary weapons had really distinctive and chunky sounds, which were nice. And I also really liked how the sounds refracted off the environment, which was pretty awesome compared to the other games where the sound was just kind of dead in the environment most of the time.
The really nice thing, going from, if you had gone from like Master Chief Collection to the Halo 5 Guardians beta, was that the sound is actually correct. Like the actual sound mixing is done right, which is a good sign, just in general. Which was a nice.
And that Halo 3 thing.
It's not just Halo 3 either.
Well, it's most noticeable in that for me.
Yeah, it happens in Halo 2 and it happens in Halo 2 and occasionally in CE as well.
More problems with Halo 3. What a surprise.
Well, it's not even a Halo 3 problem. It's an MCC problem, which when I saw that they had it fixed or whatever for Halo 5, I was like, okay, at least that's not going to be a problem. So, anyway.
Right, so we like most of the audio. Just too cluttered. We should probably move on.
Another huge thing that we were big fans of: reduce the bonuses for automatic weapons in Smart Link and with headshots.
Yeah,
that was beyond infuriating during the beta.
God.
That was the one thing that would legitimately piss me off, other than like occasional like terrible connections and stuff.
I don't know why. I mean, that was definitely a design decision. That's not something that comes up by accident.
Yeah.
It's so random for that to be a thing on the battlefield like that. It didn't make any sense.
These are the people that came up with Ordnance. I don't know what you're talking about.
So
random.
Even if you're just hip firing with an automatic weapon and you aim at the head, are you getting bonuses then too, or do you?
I
think
So they're only taking away the bonus if you're smart linked.
No, it's bonuses from smart links and headshots.
Oh, okay.
Which is awesome.
I mean, we obviously want the assault rifle to be not awful. But
I like the idea of it being functional.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that.
Yeah, but for a scrub to basically beat you because they got lucky, not because they aimed well.
The assault rifle should chew somebody up pretty good in close range, but at medium range, a battle rifle should usually win.
Yeah, I mean,
even in Halo 4, this is kind of like a thing because I mean, if you better land all of your shots with a BR if you have somebody charging at you with an assault rifle, otherwise you're going to lose.
Yeah, people are always constantly surprised at how good the Halo 4 AR is.
It is
in
actuality. It's very good. I mean, that's about as good as I'd want it to be in Halo 5. It's like, if you're charging at me, but I land all my shots, I'm barely going to win anyway. But
next on the list, probably the greatest change in any Halo of all the Halos.
Oh my god!
Removing grenade detonation in midair from weapon fire.
Years in the making.
There was somebody in Halo Gaff that defended the grenades blowing.
Oh, there's always somebody that can defend something.
So it's realistic, guys.
It's Gaff in general. There's a defense force for everything. It's kind of the tagline. But
so, Colin, is this like your favorite feature, and they're just taking it away? I mean, you seem indifferent.
I really enjoyed throwing my grenade out, and then as it came out of my hand, someone accidentally shot it, and it took away my shields. That, to me, that's the pinnacle of Halo.
He can say this with like such a straight face too. I don't have this this character trait personally. But
oh my god.
Yeah, like it's not even like a sarcasm thing at this point. It's like a depression thing at this point. It happens so often. It happened so often in the beta too. It was like, guys, get rid of this. This is getting more and more of a problem every iteration.
Yeah, it really is.
Did it start in like Halo 3?
I think so.
You could shoot him. You could shoot him in Halo 2. I think it just almost never happened.
You actually had to hit them like dead on because you could throw grenades in the air.
Montages of people sniping nades, but
in Reach, that's when they made the grenades huge and dumb, so you could hit them a lot easier.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like Reach made it
an issue.
You're throwing pineapples around,
and then
basically.
They just carried that over for 4 and like 5, but I get beta 5.
Beta 5, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, anybody who's played with us, it's basically a nightly thing. It was just like all of a sudden one of us would go, "Oh, fucking bullshit!" Shot my grenade.
I do like being able to shoot grenades that are on the ground though, like as people walk by.
That was strategic.
Kind of fun.
I kind of hope that's still in. But
yeah, you actually mean to do that though. Like you have to purposely look at the freaking ground and aim at a grenade.
Mm-hmm.
Needs more barrels.
I wonder if that goes away too. Probably.
I don't know if those are necessarily tied together, per se. So, like, maybe only grenades that have been activated, or,
fire.
Excuse me.
Probably just when it gets thrown. It's probably still, you could shoot them while they're on the ground.
Yeah, maybe only grenades that haven't been activated can be shot and exploded.
Well, it's like when grenades exploded in CE, they would blow up other grenades, whereas you couldn't shoot them out of the air in CE.
Chain reactions.
Mm-hmm.
Ridiculous.
Well, I mean, they kept that sort of from that point on because you could do like insta-splodes and stuff like that, but it wasn't as obnoxious as CE's was.
Yeah, it wasn't CE grenades exploding, so.
Okay. Turn off and on vibration feedback for weapons, whatever. I mean, that's the thing that they should have had to begin with, but I think the reason it wasn't in there is because they weren't considering the fact that the Xbox One doesn't have that as an option.
Nice.
Just another lovely missing feature from the one that was on the 360.
It has trigger, or it had trigger vibration, didn't it? I think it did.
Didn't Frankie at one point say just turn it off in the system settings?
Yeah, and then we're like, you can't, and he goes, wait, what? Like, good thing you know all about the system you're designing your game around.
Frankie.
Come on, buddy. Yeah. There's a few moments like that lately that it's just like, oh, you don't know? Oh.
Maybe he just has, like,
no time.
Software build and, like, that's way ahead of us, so he does have that option.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe he has the always rumored redesigned Xbone OS.
Oh god, that would be so great.
Ugh.
Didn't he write a novel or something? Wasn't that news this week?
Yeah, it's coming. It's like a short story.
I'm so excited.
I don't think it's a novel.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he already wrote a short story.
Well, Well, that's what he was doing.
I think it's another.
His
I mean, they
is-
said in
Playing
the
Master Chief
announcement.
Collection.
They said in the
His
announcement
is,
it was a short thing.
What is it called?
Yeah.
Halo Saints.
Yeah, Saint
Halo
Testimony
Saints
or something
4?
like that.
Halo Saints Row.
That would be amazing.
That's right. You do get power armor in Saints.
Who needs the Prophet's
awesome.
Bane when you have a massive dildo?
And Joe Staten's writing a novel.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's really exciting, actually. That's neat.
He's back.
The Joe Staten special.
The original. I mean, he's pretty much like the original.
It's not
the original like writers on the whole franchise, isn't he?
Is he writing like an original novel, like of his own creation, or is it like a
Yes.
IP
Yeah,
for
It's a
something?
Halo novel. It's a Halo novel
okay.
from him.
Okay.
Yeah.
He's writing.
That was always how they told the story. Was Jason Jones came to Joe Staten and said, "I want Alien." He basically the same thing they told Marty for the music was, "This is kind of the bare bones of it. Write me something based on that." And then
Yeah.
Joe Staten just went to town on it.
So that's pretty cool that he's. I wonder if he's doing any consulting on Halo 5. I hope.
I wonder.
He is.
I wonder if it
can,
was
like,
actually
rein in
his voice doing that
Reed or
grunt
whatever.
at that release too.
Maybe.
Who
Well, the
knows?
grunt is speaking English, so maybe they're bringing back English-speaking grunts.
Maybe.
Mhm.
No. All right. Let's see. Next thing they're adding here, obviously, completely different track again. Post-death replay will be opt-in. Thank you.
Thank you, Jesus.
It only took 3 attempts for this to be the case. So good job, guys. So yeah, they had this in Halo 4 and Halo 2 Anniversary.
Yeah, and Halo 2 Anniversary is weird, where when you play matchmaking, it's not the default option, right? It's just the
Mhm.
death cam, or not the death cam, but like the dead body cam. And then
Yeah, it's a death
if you load
cam,
up a custom game, if you load up a custom game, it's default on. And I don't know about you guys, I always
You can't
forget to
turn it off.
it
Yeah,
Weird.
Mhm.
yeah.
I know
so-
on the HCS stuff when the pros are playing. Was it on any of those, or did they just like skip out of it right away when it happened?
No, those settings are specifically set
Okay.
not to have that.
It must have been something I was watching. but
They have custom maps too.
lots of people
like,
just click out
Shrine.
of it right away anyway, because unless you're really interested in how they beat you.
Well, and it wouldn't even tell you that. It would just be. It was
Well,
more
yeah, it's
frustrating to
usually-
watch the kill cam because
Because it's so
not how
laggy
they
and
killed
not
you.
right. Yeah.
shooting you through 6 walls
Yeah,
and
that's
time and
pretty great.
space.
Yeah. Decrease metal frequency and the number of metals displayed in the feed. Oh, again,
Yeah, just like
it only
all of
took
that.
3 times to figure this is a bad idea.
Just
at
the
the beginning.
whole screen.
I do
Did
like Halo
they
5's
have
metals
text
more
in the
than Halo
middle again?
4's.
In Halo 5? I don't remember.
No, it's at the bottom. It's underneath the metal
It's
display.
Okay.
yeah, it's like in the center below. Yeah.
I ran into a bug when I was spectating where it never wiped the medals, so they would just build up and continuously build. And by the end of the game, like the screen was just like filled with medals
Nice.
and like on top of each other. It was the greatest.
So kind of like MCC with the menu,
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
great.
like-
which still happens even after
I
the
haven't had
fix.
that happen yet, thankfully.
yeah, big team battle on Pillar of Autumn. It's my favorite.
$sign fine game.
Yeah.
That's my favorite playlist.
Game.
Spartan chatter. Players have the option to turn it on or off. Holy shit!
And it's going to be reduced.
I thought
Yeah, thank God.
helpful, especially when you're not playing with friends.
There
That's
was
good.
like
You
I
know,
didn't explicitly have a problem with the chatter. It was like certain things that they said were just
You're a machine. Keep it
Oh,
up.
yeah.
were just audio
Yeah,
clutter. Just clutter.
I'm reloading. Good job on clambering or whatever.
They were actually surprisingly accurate in their callouts. Otherwise,
Nice
though,
headshot.
like
Yeah.
there's
headshot.
there's one in the
Got it.
whatever.
Yeah.
That happened all the time too. Every DMR. Every DMR. I picked up a DMR.
Oh man.
Hey, I'm reloading. Cover me. Like, yeah, we know. Okay,
You're
thanks.
a machine.
Headshot. Oh.
Hey, watch that friendly fire.
Oh,
There's
fucking friendly fire! Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
do they talk about if that's coming back?
I
I
don't.
don't think so.
I don't think they did.
They turned off for the beta.
No.
Highlights to placed and dropped weapons to make them easier to see. okay, I guess. I don't know if I had a problem with that in the beta, really.
It was really hard to find when we had the AR pistol starts. I was having a really hard time on some of the maps finding, like, where's a BR?
I like the thing they have in Anniversary, Halo 2 Anniversary. That's a nice system. I think that'll work.
I think that's what they're going to go off of.
Because it helps like new players that don't know where things are to begin with. Even if the weapon's not there, they know something spawns here at some time.
Yeah.
Like, check here later, you know.
It'd be nice if you could turn that off per player. So if someone wanted to, like, get into the habit of knowing timing and stuff and locations, they could turn it off for themselves.
Yeah, I think the thing we keep trying to, like, tell every Halo developer is, like, guys, let us choose certain things all the time. It's always these, I don't know, superfluous features, and we're always trying to tell them, hey, let us choose if we want this crap or not.
Speaking of being able to choose and button mapping, did you hear that the next PlayStation 4 update allows you to assign buttons? Or I guess it's a rumor, but...
Well, it's not. It's a 99.99% confirmed rumor, because there's like screenshots
OS
and
level
everything.
Button swapping.
I'm so excited for it.
I wonder if you do that on the system and then you get into the game, it still says X for.
I'll bet it would.
I think it does. So I don't know what experience you guys have with this, but at least with the PS4 playing like remote play on the Vita, you get it's pretty flawless. Whatever that is, yeah.
Yes.
So if you're playing on your home network, it's pretty
like a toilet, right?
Yeah, something like that. It's a toilet with an amazing amount of really good indie games. But if you're playing in your home network, response time's great and everything, but the display still shows you whatever the PS4 is telling you, right? So you have to know, and it even explains like certain buttons become mapped to like the back touchpad, which is really weird, and you just have to like remember that while you're playing. So I have a feeling that's essentially what it is. It's just whatever internal system they use for remote play right now, but they're making it visible to the user, and you're just deciding what you want things to be. But I mean, that's at a system level though. So like, I don't necessarily have a problem with where buttons are per se. But, like, yeah, when it comes to Halo, I think we've had this discussion way too many times, but it's built into the actual engine itself is the issue. And
yeah, well, Halo 5, even the beta controls, that was one thing, is none of them seemed 100% satisfactory to me.
I played Recon, and that was about the most useful one for me.
Yeah, I think I ended up going back to Recon. I guess I should have tried Fish Stick or whatever the default Call of Duty thing was, but
Bumper Jumper.
Halo 4's control stream was alright.
Shut up, Colin. Halo 4 is terrible.
The only thing is that they had ground pound on B, so you had to hold B down and then take your finger, or what did I have to do? Oh, because you have to aim.
You had to do some gymnastics.
Yeah, so I'd hold down B with my thumb and take my other hand off the left thumbstick and control it with the right.
So like, yeah,
it was a good game.
Yeah, Recon is just crouches on your mark. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that was me playing Halo 5.
Yeah, Recon, it was just crouches on the left thumbstick like always. So wasn't a big deal.
Matt, I've got to take off pretty soon.
Okay, yeah, we're almost done, so you can leave whenever you gotta go.
Okay.
But tuning for the announcer and Spartan chat. Yeah, so that was the other thing too. Like, there were so many medals and announcements for just menial bullshit.
Yeah.
His weird sniper.
There was a
announcement.
That I don't know. That's kind of neat in its own.
No, it's a good medal.
It's such a rare thing.
Simultaneous.
Yeah, man, that turns me on every time. It's not even loud. He does it like really soft and like sultry. He's like simultaneous. Oh, you know. But yeah. But there was a lot of stuff like, oh, you sniped someone who was in a territory and wasn't, like, usually isn't moving between very many places in the game. so you get a special medal. It doesn't even have to be a headshot. You just snipe someone in a territory, or you rocket them, and that's apparently a big deal and really hard to do and medal worthy. So I don't know, some of those things, and a lot of those medals had actual announcements that went with them too.
I'd like it if the headshot medal went away. If you were to keep the perfect medal and get rid of the headshot medal, I'd be totally happy with that.
Yeah, it'd be cool. Perfect. Okay, yeah. So that's the other thing. I'll touch on this while we're at the end of this little thing here. Like, there were new medals that I liked. That they felt like actual medal, like perfect. That's a thing that should be a medal. I think that's cool.
I like the combat evolved medal. That was probably my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even though you basically do it on accident or when you're screwing around. But
yeah,
gun punch.
Yeah.
EXR.
Yeah, some of these are the little Easter eggs or whatever. Those are kind of fine, and some of the things like perfect, where it's like you've actually done something at least, But just stuff like rocket kill.
Yeah.
Okay.
The combos got really obnoxious.
They should have had one for Hydra kill, like that he announced.
They did. Not that he announced. But there was the Hydra kill medal.
Yeah, so those were kind of fun to actually go for once you figured out how to use the Hydra.
I'd actually like a medal for if someone is stuck in toggle crouch and you kill them. I'd like a medal for that.
Yeah, murdered while toggle crouching.
Yeah.
Maybe if 343 didn't have this thing up their butt to make toggle crouch the default in their games, it wouldn't be an issue. But apparently they do, and it is.
Is it?
It is.
Yeah.
It's default for Halo 4 and on.
4 and 5.
Is it because it's
And MCC.
B?
It's because Jem likes it, I think, and I kind of
Well, I know it
what
was.
he says.
Hey,
Crouches
he's a
on
physics
stick
student.
and,
He knows all about crouching and not crouching, and
Since
he
Halo
knows
5
physics.
basically has like COD controls. It's like fish stick controls.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. It just seems hilarious every time it happens. So,
Yeah.
all right, we'll go ahead and finish up. The rest of these are kind of not as important gameplay-wise, but they involve like the back-end systems. So like improved skill detection, good, definitely needed. There's literally none of that right now in the ranked playlist in MCC.
Yeah.
Improved skill matching, good.
Again, not in MCC.
Those games that we got into in the ranked playlist in MCC seemed harder than the other ones that we had gotten into, though. Maybe it's working, kind of, a little bit.
Well, we were, I think our highest rank was a 13 in our party, and we were matching like high 30s and stuff.
Well, okay,
Yeah.
Obviously, I meant the level of competition in that playlist was better than we usually get in other ones. But obviously, it was
tryhards
properly.
Perhaps.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
only 6 teams are playing ranked MCC.
Yeah,
They're all circle boosting.
and they're
Like
all-
back, just as you remember it, circle boosting.
Yeah.
they really should turn on that skill. That's like the skill level and like just all the playlists, so you can always have like a little number you're working on to get up.
Yeah.
But then people look at it more like progression rather than
Well,
a rank that
and
you should
people
be at.
quit,
Your
like
skill level.
crazy anyway. I'm not sure that'd work out.
Quitting is terrible
but-
right now. It's a real problem.
Yeah, quitting's one of those things, like, we need like a whole episode just on that, because I think it comes down to like a core issue with introducing join in progress to the Halo environment to begin
And
with.
how they screwed it up so bad with Halo 4.
Yeah.
Like
join-
I said, in Titanfall right now, if you join in match in progress and your team is losing, that loss is not recorded on your record.
That should
Amazing.
just not happen at all. You shouldn't
What?
join the game.
No, you
when
should
it's
never.
about-
I mean, you shouldn't really join a match that's in progress if like it's more than a couple of minutes in or something. You just shouldn't join it. Like you can join for those first couple of minutes, but
I think there should be a quit losing state. So like after X number of people quit, and there's like kind of how they have it set up for join in progress in Halo 4. You can't join in after 50% of the match is over or 50% of the score has happened.
yeah,
Supposedly you can't, even though it's happened occasionally.
it's happened to us.
Well, yeah, because they begin the join state, and then it takes 2 minutes for them to get in.
Yeah. But I mean, you could have something like that to where the game itself won't keep going if there's not enough people with enough of a chance, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Just auto ends the game, or just doesn't count it. It doesn't even have to be a loss. Like if your teammates just well, I guess it should be a loss if we're going to talk ranked. But if your team is
Yeah,
just
well-
all bail,
Yeah, well, I mean, it is in going back to the change list. They did mention punishing quitters with CSR penalties and matchmaking bans. So I guess they're doing something.
CSR penalties and matchmaking bans. That would be great.
Yeah, so I mean, that doesn't really address front end progress.
and
but
it says
hopefully-
hide your CSR ranks until you're in the match to de-incentivize
Yeah, so at
quitting.
least they're. I mean, they're making
Yeah,
some.
So they're finally making these what should be basic decisions,
Yeah.
which is great. You
Don't
know,
show the
Level.
ranks of the enemy team because then you're going to be like, well, fuck, I don't want to play these assholes. I've had that happen in like Titanfall where everybody's on the other team is like, not that. It
Oh
matters,
well, we had
like-
that happen to us all the time in Reach. People would check the KD and just back out.
Oh
And,
yeah.
for the back out
Yeah.
bitches.
yeah, we came up with a phrase
all
for
the
that
time.
based
Yeah,
on
back up, bitches.
Back out bitches.
something that this guy told us. I think it was me and Colin in the Reach beta was when that got originated.
What?
The fucking back out, bitches.
No.
This dude trying to intimidate us to leave, and we were like single-handedly holding off on stockpile sword base by ourselves.
And then he left.
And then, yeah, he ended up leaving. He's like, "Fuck this, man."
Improved party versus party matchmaking. That'll be nice. So if you're in a party and you're not just pub stomping, or if you're by yourself and getting pump stopped, which is always
Yeah.
unpleasant.
Selecting your own data center, Mike. How hyped?
Yeah, it'll be
Yeah.
good for me. Not good when we all play together because it's not going to matter.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they do the same system as Titanfall, since they're using the same servers pretty much.
Yeah. I mean,
Titanfall, you can
hey,
choose
but
a data
maybe now that
center.
I fixed my internet, it won't matter that much. I don't know.
Yeah,
We'll see.
Titanfall, you can choose a data center, but if you're playing in a party, it doesn't keep anybody's preferences. It's just like wherever the opening
It's
is.
like wherever, yeah,
Yeah.
get matched into.
So
I know.
Maybe it'll be better.
Well, even so, the performance has been pretty good. I mean, better than Titanfall, at least, I think.
right.
Titanfall,
For-
yeah, it had some. We've had some pretty good games on Halo so far that I have felt ran pretty well. It seems like they've got probably quite a bit of network smoothing built into the netcode at this point.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Makes it feel pretty good at least, even if we don't even know what our ping is because they don't.
They
choose
they
not to
improved
surface that data to us.
they improved the simulation, Mark.
Yeah. Yeah, your own reality is.
That's a
Better
fun GDC talk. If you guys are interested, go check out how they do the actual networking
Yeah,
for
pretty
older
ridiculous.
Halo games.
Oh, really? Is there something like that? That's kind of neat.
Yeah, do you remember who was
We'll link
gave
you.
the talk? Yeah, we'll
Okay,
tell you
yeah.
on Skype later.
Um,
But, final topic for the day. Danny Oob is not dead!
Did he complete PX 120 or CrossFit or whatever he was doing? Was that why he was gone?
I don't know, but that was... He pulled a Vladimir Putin for a while, and he is indeed alive, though. So
I don't blame him. I wouldn't have
He
been
tried
on social
to,
media with some of the people out for his blood, even though he wasn't the only one.
I mean, you don't even have to be social media, but be like
Yeah, well, I mean,
just
even
a
Frankie
figurehead
was
for a
around.
company. Yeah, a figurehead for a company on the company's website would be fine.
Yeah, he didn't even tweet for 4 months.
Yeah, well,
You think he could have been like, "We're working on things," which is what they said anyway.
Which is literally all he said.
What? I don't know
Yeah.
what he's supposed to say though.
No, I mean-
there's
that,
nothing
literally
for him to
that
say.
we're working on things and that
Yeah,
I
I mean
exist.
everyone at the company is saying that. Why? It's just be another person saying that.
Well, because wasn't he director of MCC in particular? I mean,
He's
like
a
Frankie's
producer.
the franchise
He's
director.
He's an executive producer. on
Yeah,
it,
I mean,
so-
it's kind of the guy in charge of things.
He was
so I
the
would expect
producer
him to
in
at
charge. Yeah,
least
But
pay
the
lip
information, the information that he would have given to you anyway was getting to you through the official website.
right. I
And,
guess
and
it was
Bonnie even commented on it.
Bonnie.
Like,
Bonnie
I get
wrote
that,
the
like,
letter,
it's
didn't
kind
she?
of like out of principle.
Or
It's
no, that
weird,
was,
but I just don't think he really had anything to say until he had something to say. Like, okay, it kind of works now.
Yeah, well,
Hey,
even so, I
This
think
is I did all this. This was all me. That's what he should have said. Hey
Yeah,
guys,
I know it
I
felt
think
kind
that-
of.
He never really uses Twitter much anyway. Before the MCC was announced, he used it, I think, maybe once or twice since 2012.
Oh, nice. Well,
I wasn't even talking about Twitter, but I was just talking like general presence. So like the lead up to the MCC,
Yeah, I mean,
he's
he
everywhere
showed
in
really hard
public
and
and
dropped off the face of
making
the earth.
appearances and like, hey, this is how it's going to work, and you can do this and blah blah blah. And then once MCC launched, it's like, let me go back to work here, guys. Well, which was just fine.
They had to get back to work pretty bad.
Yeah, which is fine,
yeah.
but it's like the blackout that was there for a while, to use lack of a better term, was kind of annoying, I think, and that's kind of what bugged people to start this whole meme, like of whether Dan is actually still alive or not.
Yeah, I mean, he shouldn't have. Obviously, had stuff to do, but it would have been nice if he said like something rather than absolutely nothing.
Yeah,
I think at that point it's just being courteous. It's not really like
that. Yeah, I mean that's true, but courtesy kind of would have been nice considering what MCC was at release. So
yeah, I mean, who was it? It was Bonnie, I think, that wrote that whole like
that was
almost heartfelt letter. Like what? I don't know what the word is. Like, guys, I really do care, and I'm actually terribly sorry. Like, something like that.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be to that extent, but like when you have Bravo or other people coming out and saying, "Hey guys, I already don't have a real update for you. We're gonna have a beta, I promise, for this update." No, okay. And this is the level of communication most of the time, and then they come out and say, "Hey, this update's gonna fix this," and it doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Until like the very last update.
How many times was party
matching and stability?
Party stability improved. I think it was improved at least 17 times since November.
It was.
It was like every update.
Hey, the 18th...
it's improved. Okay.
Hey, 18 times the charm.
Still not stable, but it's improved.
It's improving by percents every time.
Yeah,
but just a few.
To be fair, now it actually is improved.
Yeah, so, I didn't bring it up to like knock on Dan necessarily, but I just thought it was interesting. He was the person to come out with that.
Yeah,
strangely, really, really short and contentless PR. It wasn't even like a thing on Waypoint. It was a thing like an official Xbox press release.
Oh well, he did post a thing on Waypoint.
I know they pointed to the press release.
That was Bonnie who did the press release.
Wait, are you
on the Xbox Wire? There's an Xbox Wire, yeah.
Oh,
well Dan authored this Waypoint community blog with the ODST and Relic.
So maybe they just doubled it up, put it on both locations.
Yeah, I'm looking at it on Waypoint.
Okay,
but
yeah, it was just kind of interesting that he was the person they chose to do that. They're like, okay, we already had Bonnie do her spiel. It's your turn to come back to the public.
There, Dan. Come on.
Like Phil's like, Dan, you should get in front of this a little more.
Yeah.
But I don't know. So Dan aside, how about the update that they gave? Any thoughts on the whole 2 screenshots or whatever?
ODST's a cool game.
I like ODST.
I like that game. I will play that game again.
I'll play that game. Yeah.
It's too bright. Not going to download it.
Just turn your screen brightness down.
Yeah.
In the settings, I can't do that.
Do it on your
just
TV.
use the system settings to turn down the brightness of the console.
I wonder if they're going to do...
It's cool.
Do you have any word if they're remastering any of the audio or the soundtrack for that, or if it's just going to be a straight port?
I bet it's just going to be a straight port.
Up-res and frame rate double.
Yeah. I don't know, that's one of the best Halo soundtracks there is, too.
They're way too busy probably trying to pump out Halo 5 at this point to be messing with
it depends on who they subcontracted it to.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't really have much to do with MCC anyway. It's not like they were working on that.
That's true. They produced it, basically. That was it. They got other people to do everything else.
Yeah. But I mean, the Relic screenshots are almost a joke. It's like, here's the skybox, and here's not showing you any of the map.
Yeah, it's whatever.
We're looking up at Spartans.
I have a feeling they have like an actual progress update coming soon, and that's why.
Oh,
it's just like, oh, hey, by the way, an update's coming. Just thought I'd let you know.
Yeah, no, that's nice.
I don't get the choice in map. Like, obviously, can't speak on the general behalf on the general community, but like, have you seen the HCS map choices?
Yeah,
there's 2.
All 3 of them?
There's 3.
I really like Shrine a lot.
We should probably play Shrine after we play Shrine, and then Shrine.
Warlock is the best map in any Halo game ever. I think it was #1 on IGN's list.
Did you actually just bring up IGN's list?
No, I don't.
Oh god.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you were being serious or.
Hopefully.
Ugh, that was almost scary. They're awesome.
Yeah, Relics is a weird.
I don't know what.
I kind of wonder if they were already. I bet they already had it prototyped and they dropped it.
Maybe that was one of the ones
MCC,
they were thinking
and they
about
were
doing.
like, "This is people have good memories of this, and it's like partly already done, so we're just gonna finish it."
I'm curious.
We're gonna release this broken game. Let's cut Relic and give it to them for free as a thank you.
Yeah, exactly.
They pulled a Destiny,
Fuck
like,
up.
hey guys, there's too much game content here, and we're not sure this is going to work.
10 years of content, right?
We don't know if this is going to work.
Seven-
You better cut
seven
some of
maps
that.
Is just unrealistic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. Perhaps their plan was like the game wasn't going to be a broken mess at launch, and they were going to use kind of like they did before, like a few Forge maps in addition to the maps that they had. You know,
Well, yeah,
Probably.
well, they worked a lot on Forge.
Well, they had a Beaver
Forge
Creek
looked cool.
Forge map.
it was like really well
They
done
even
already.
showed
I don't know what happened to that.
Yeah, they never even put that on any file share, and that
They
looked
just-
pretty damn good.
They just got to put midship, and like I know it's in Halo 5, but just put it in.
Just put Onyx. It's already working in the MCC in Halo 4.
Yeah.
Just have them switch over to Halo 4 for one match of
I'd be
each
really-
tournament. You know,
I'd be surprised if Onyx didn't make an appearance in next season. It's such a good map, and it works perfectly fine, like you just said.
It's a really good map. I really like that map. It's a good one.
I don't know. People already bitch about Warlock being too small, even though Onyx is even smaller.
Onyx is smaller than Warlock? What? No way.
Oh yeah,
No.
Warlock just feels small because of the
What
teleporters.
the hell is Onyx? Oh, it's a
There's like a
Halo
midship.
4
It's a
Forge
Halo
map?
4 Forge map. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
map.
is it the Tashi one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he didn't, I don't think
He didn't
did
make it.
though.
No, Tashi didn't make it.
He was
It was the
heralded
one-
as
yeah,
a really
he-
good map. When
He was the one
okay.
like pushing that
Yeah.
when he was still a cartographer. Like,
Yeah.
guys, this is a good map. We
It
should
was a
test
really
this
good
one.
map.
Oh,
Come test this
that's where he
map.
made Onyx, but I
It's got
don't remember.
rockets in the middle.
That helps.
Yeah.
It's like midship inspired, kind of.
Yeah, it's midship inspired
Mhm.
for sure. Feels a lot like that.
It's a really good Ricochet map too.
Yes, it is.
Except for when your
Ricochet
teammates
is a
don't
really
do
good
anything.
game mode. Why don't they have
God, I know,
Ricochet in
right? Like-
HCS?
He brings the
Great.
ball back to your base. Oh, good job.
I wish they'd put Ricochet in HCS. That'd be great to watch. That'd probably be pretty fun to watch, actually.
It's not serious enough, bro.
Yeah.
I guess.
For sure.
But- All right, anything you guys want to say before we call it good on episode 3?
Go listen to my podcast.
Oh.
Yeah, plug Reclaimer.
Time to go grill some steaks.
Oh. Are you guys actually doing still just the one show, or since it's a hub now, are you going to be doing like multiple topics, stretching
so-
yourselves to the absolute limit?
Right. Yeah, well, we just brought on Gringo Suave from GAF. We just brought on another member too.
You can't
But-
trust those New Mexicans, though.
Mm-mm.
No,
Yeah, he lives in
We,
Albuquerque, so
we brought on another music guy. I think they're wanting to do a music-based podcast. I don't know. Right now, it's the Halo podcast itself and the YouTube stuff that we're doing. Plus, Gringo is doing lore-based write-ups for the website.
I'm sorry.
Well, if you want to have a
Yeah.
deep conversation about the art direction in Halo, like we always do in GAF all the time, I'll be glad to sit in on a podcast with you.
No, yeah, that'd be a lot of fun. Actually,
don't let Mike on your podcast.
Oh,
Just kidding.
we're gonna have a Biggie solo podcast too that he doesn't know about yet.
we are.
Oh my god. All right. Yeah, I think that's about it for today, though. But good show, everybody, and it was nice to talk to everybody for the first time in like 3.5 months all at once again.
Yeah.
Hopefully, next time we won't have such a big break. I'm thinking maybe make it a monthly thing. If that
You're a liar.
sounds, you're welcome back whenever if you fit in on the schedule. Yeah.
I'll make sure I have some supplies in front of me next time. when I'm sitting here.
Maybe get one of those camera things.
Yeah, I'll probably do that too.
Yeah.
You can see me like hunched over some project that I'm working on in front of my desk.
We should have a thing where Mike.
Show.
We should have a thing where Mike draws our piece just for each show topic as we're going, and it's like only whatever we bring up.
It's terrible. It's a terrible idea.
It's a great idea, and then we could just use that for the actual video each time too.
It sounds like a lot of effort.
Yeah, that's why you should do it.
Oh, good. Yes. I don't have enough projects that I'm working on right now.
All right, guys. Thanks. Thanks for showing up, and glad we could do this, and we'll do it again. We'll try and organize this outside the show and figure out when we can fit everybody in more often, because this is usually pretty fun. So, all right, later, everybody.
Later.
Bye.